begun for the purple time of year, as we tell the children. So who has a hard time saying no? We do. It's hard to say no. Hard to say no to someone we love. Hard to say no to someone we respect. Hard to say no to things that would please us, or things that would make our lives more comfortable. Hard to say no to situations where if we said yes, we would get notice and praise. And it's really hard to say no to power, especially if that power could be used to do something good. It's not easy to say no, and it's not easy to know when to say no. But this learning of when to say no and how to say no, that's the first step towards a wholehearted yes. So the first thing that God does for Jesus, after calling him my beloved son, is to test him, which seems really unfair, right? I mean, my beloved son, now go out into the desert and don't eat. He needed this opportunity to get really, really clear about who he was and what his mission was. This time in the desert was a time to make some decisions that would set the whole course of his life thereafter. Because, of course, he was always free to go his own way, always free to substitute out obedience to God for his own desires. So this time of testing, it was a time to drill down into his own psyche, into his own soul, into the depths of his inner life, and make some decisions about what he would say no to and to what he would say yes. And we don't usually get real clarity when we are at ease. I mean, when we have all that we want and when things are going our way. We usually develop real clarity, right? About who we are and what we're about. We develop that in hard times, in times that test our soul, that test our resolve. And we can usually look back on those times in our lives and see that we made some inner decisions during that time, that we got some kind of inner resolve and clarity, which set the tone for much of what follows. Now, I remember very clearly when I came to terms on my kitchen floor with my own energy and my own abilities. And at that point, I remember this very clearly. I said no to the good housekeeping seal of approval in regards to my own housekeeping. So that I could say yes to hikes with my kids. I could say yes to art projects that took up the kitchen table. I could say yes to story times with hot chocolate and popcorn in the living room. Now, most parents probably don't have to make that particular choice, between keeping order and attentiveness to your children. I don't know, I think they have some bandwidth of energy or some genetic makeup that, lets them do both. But the truth is, we all have to come to terms with who we are, with the gifts and abilities that we have. We are all presented with temptations to give up what actually has more value in order to secure approval or comfort or power. I mean, to turn towards life, you have to turn away from what is not life. To grow closer to God or your partner or your children or your church, you have to turn away from what takes you further away from God, further away from your partner or your children or your church. That's why the first question in our baptism, the first questions are all about saying no, are all about turning away from. It's all about this very old word called renunciation. The questions are, do you renounce Satan and all the spiritual forces of wickedness that rebel against God? Do you renounce the evil powers of this world that corrupt and destroy the creatures of God? Do you renounce all sinful desires that draw you from the love of God? That's the first step of our baptism. It's the first step towards saying yes. And saying no is actually, it's freeing. It's as freeing as saying yes. But this came as a revelation to me. When I first began to read the theologian Karl Barth, I was unprepared for the forcefulness of his no. Now, Barth was a Lutheran pastor and a theologian in pre-war Germany who grew increasingly alarmed at the growing military spending in his country and with his fellow pastors who accommodated the prevailing politics. So in order to understand what was happening with his country and his church, he began a very deep study of his book of Romans, which we've heard from today, and it's a little bit tough to understand. He came away from that deep study of the book of Romans with this overwhelming conviction that God is absolutely sovereign. He is not dependent upon us. He exercises complete freedom in revealing himself through the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. Under the victorious reality of Christ's resurrection, and that all the death-dealing powers of the world, all of them, put together, are not able to destroy the irrevocable intention of God to love. At the same time, he came to the conclusion that we can never know God. We can never know God in the way that we might a patron saint. God is not our patron saint. And he's certainly not the patron saint of any one country or any one group of people. Faith, Barth said, faith is the love of God that is aware of the qualitative difference between God and human beings and God and the world. And we like to really be, our immanent God who is in the world, and I'm very much one of those people. But we need to balance that, and Barth balanced that with this transcendent God that is basically unknowable. He brought back this idea of the utter transcendence of God, of what we call the apophatic God that we cannot know, but before whom we bow and become silent. Because we essentially don't know, and we certainly cannot control. He founded what came to be called the Confessing Church in Germany. What did they confess? Why was it called the Confessing Church? They confessed that Jesus is Lord, that God is not the God of one people or any one political system, that God is the God of an absolute no to all that deals in death and corruption. This small group began to call out the churches that for decades had made peace and had acquiesced and even benefited with a system in which groups of people were blamed for economic woes. And we now know on this side of World War II, we know who those people were. They ended up in the concentration camps. They were Jews. They were homosexuals. They were the poor and the handicapped. They were aliens, such as gypsies. God's thundering no to this scapegoating was an essential, bitter tasting corrective. I was blown away when I read this theologian, because I had never heard anything like this before. The truth is that this holy no is the starting point of any authentic religious life. Any life that desires intimacy with God must begin with an understanding that God does not belong to you, that God is not a vending machine, that God does not need to cure your cancer, or provide you with a job, or ensure you're prevailing in a lawsuit, or make your life comfortable and easy. God does not need to do any of that. God is absolutely sovereign. So real life with God, begins on our knees. It begins with renouncing our desire for easy gain. It begins with this recognition that God is beyond our thoughts, beyond our imaginations, beyond our rules and our regulations, beyond our potlucks and our passions. God, in God's essence, cannot be known except in whatever way God chooses to be known, which is primarily through his beloved Son, Jesus. So renunciation is the way that we begin this journey of Lent. Because a holy yes to, in the words of E. E. Cummings, one love, a holy yes to the leaping greenly spirit of trees and the blue, true dream of sky requires a holy no to waste and pollution. A holy yes to seeking and serving Christ in all persons, as we say in our baptismal vows. That requires a holy no to envy or to pointing the fingers at Muslims or anyone else. The holy yes to healing and abundance requires the holy no to blindness to human suffering and lack of compassion. Do you, my friends, do you renounce the works of Satan and all the evil powers of this world that would corrupt and destroy the works of creation? And our answer? I renounce them. We do. I renounce them. Amen.